Here's an idea from the Piasetzner Rebbe. He writes in Chovas al Talmidim, he says, how comes when we're involved in spiritual things we don't feel connected? So it could be when we're learning Torah, it doesn't seem to have the same impact like it should. Or even when we're davening, we don't feel so connected. And he says, well, if we don't have a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then it's very difficult just to turn up and daven and expect to have some sort of connection if we never think about him the rest of the time. And therefore he suggests thinking about Hashem and reminding ourselves about the basic principles. And he suggests a person should tell himself, remind himself that I believe that there is a God in the world. I believe there's a God who listens to my tefillas. I believe in Hashgacha Pratis as Hashem who runs the world. Reminding ourselves constantly, I believe there's Hashem, Ani Mamin, the 13 principles of faith, which are at the end of davening, which many people say, and actually all these principles of faith are actually enhanced through tefillah. We know the word tefillah, lehispalel, is reflective, which means we don't pray because Hashem needs us, it's because we need it. It reminds us and it strengthens us in all those principles of emunah. So we remind ourselves, I know Hashem's watching me. Is din v'istain, there is a judge. There is, everything's being watched. I have to give account for everything. The person reminds himself constantly of these things, of the basic principles. Then when he comes to tefillah and he stands for Hashem, or when he learns Torah, then he'll have much more of an impact because Hashem is always on his mind. Just like as the Rambam says in the mitzvah of Devekus to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's like a person is lovesick. He's constantly thinking about the one that he loves when he's walking the street, whatever he's doing. Of course, if a person thinks about Kodesh Baruch Hu and thinks about it, remembers him, reminds himself about it, about Kodesh Baruch Hu, then when he comes to the time of Tefillah, he'll feel much more connected rather than just turning up in front of the Siddur or standing in prayer and not knowing what to say or just mumbling the words. So let's just remind ourselves that I know there's a Kodesh Baruch Hu, I Ma'amin v'yeda, I believe and I know, as the Rambam says. I believe and I know it. That I know there's Hashem in the world, I know Hashem is watching and Hashem is waiting to hear from me. Just remind ourselves of the concepts so that when we step into tefillah, we're already connected.